The following episode was recorded at the 2025 PLRB Claims Conference, live from the show floor of the Expo. So you may hear some of the buzz and activity of the Expo in the background. Welcome to What's the Scenario with PLRB, where we explore claims and coverage scenarios relevant to insurance professionals. I'm Brendan McLaughlin.
Hi everybody, I'm Mike Broad.
I'm Tim Havler.
And I'm Tom O'Dowd,
Tom?
Senior Exhibits Manager.
Yes,
Welcome
we have
to the
Tom O'Dowd,
podcast,
a
Tom.
new PLRB member of the team here that joined us on a podcast. Doesn't get any more exciting than that.
Yeah.
Now, where are we, Brennan?
Well, we're not on Zoom, so that's new. We're here at the PLRB Claims Conference
What?
2025. Yeah.
Wow, that's very
right,
exciting.
right in the middle of the Expo Hall, by the way. At
Tom,
the
you
PLRB
might
booth.
not have known this, but Brennan, Mike, and I do the podcast every week, and we all live in different states. 3 different states in the Midwest, but we get together every week, and this time we finally get to all see each other in person. We're glad to have you a part of it.
Glad to be here.
Aren't you excited, Tom?
Very
All right,
excited.
very
Very
good.
cool.
This is a great gathering of people from all across the country and the world.
And
So
us.
And us. What a perfect occasion.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, let's hop into it. So, Tom, what's the scenario?
The scenario is this is one of the bigger expos that we've had for quite some time, even pre-COVID. And we have all of our most loyal exhibitors. This year we drew a lot of new companies who saw us for the first time. And we draw a lot of technology companies, and they've all had a great experience. And so their takeaway is that, they have found a place where it may be something that they want to attend again in the future. And we look forward to having that opportunity to develop a new relationship.
All right, let's get into it. I do have a trivia question for
yes.
you in my pocket here. So last year at the Claims Conference, we had over 3,000 attendees. Fantastic. And over 950 of those were insurance company staff. So here's what you got to guess.
Okay.
Of those insurance company staff, how many do you think were senior staff? I'll give you some options. 50, 100, 250, 550? Where do you think that lands?
Point of clarification, sir. Define senior staff for us.
It's a good question. So we took the list of exhibitors and went through it, looking for certain keywords, vice president, director, senior in some cases, and just kind of collected those job roles.
Okay.
To figure out, what sort of, are we talking about the C-suite here? Are we talking about senior staff? Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, Tim?
Okay, I'll go first. The highest one. What was the highest one? 500?
550.
Oh, I'll go 550.
I
do you
say
think?
550.
Well, then you guys are going high. I got to go low, but not that low.
Okay.
So I'm shooting for the 250.
All right. That's a solid guess. These two are right. It is the highest number.
Oh,
There's actually a little bit more than that, but it's surprising how many senior staff wind up
That's exciting.
coming to these conferences.
So I should have went with 551. Maybe I would have won.
There you go. Yeah.
I think it's the first trivia question I haven't won
I
in
know.
a long time.
I know.
It's very disappointing. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, you ready for another question?
Well, I want to just interject a little bit about that
please.
550. So what's fascinating about this event is that these exhibitors want to meet the decision makers.
Right.
And those senior staff are really a very, very good prospect. Not the only prospect, mind you, but a very, very good prospect. So that's why they keep coming back,
Excellent
because
point.
they meet that level of experience, and that makes a big difference.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome.
cool. So what kind of companies, I'm sure it's a good variety, but what would you say are the kind of companies that most come and want to exhibit with us?
The most companies are really your very traditional segments of independent adjusters, restoration companies, forensics. Then you get into technology of all types. Some are into claims management software, some are providing AI solutions. So it's really quite a representation. You have some legal services that come. But as I look around, you see companies that really are a very, very big representation of, your IA firms and your restoration companies. But after that, it starts to trickle down into all these other ancillary services like ALE and the like. So it's a full exposure.
Very cool. And for our listeners, that you're throwing out a lot of acronyms there. So ALE is what? Loss and
ALE is additional living expense.
Yes. And IA?
And I is an independent adjuster.
Awesome. So why do you think that these service providers, what do you think they hope to get out of either sponsoring or exhibiting? What's in it for them?
What's in it for them is visibility. They take a lot of pride in their relationship with PLRB, particularly the affiliate members, and a lot of non-members understand the value of the affiliate. But it's a stature feeling, and I talk about just professionally speaking, it adds a lot of credibility to their role, their position in the industry. And then, of course, you can't forget that they're here to get business for their companies. So being a member of PLRB, coming to this event, sponsoring visibility, people respect it, and it's a good entree to developing a really good relationship.
Very good.
So that's what their takeaway is. They don't want to leave here empty-handed.
Sure.
Makes perfect sense to me. Perfect.
And it may not happen today, but it could happen 6 months from now.
Or at our next conference that we want them to come back
Exactly
to.
right. So that's why they keep coming back.
Right.
Now, when you talk about visibility, I mean, there's so many different ways you can achieve that, you know. And you're talking about who these exhibitors were. There's got to be a huge variety of exhibitors. So how do you kind of how do you adjust for that? How do you get the right fit for these variety of exhibitors that we have?
You look around, and we have some very big companies who physically, you know, have a very imposing presence. And it's a really good point because there's a lot of variety because you have different sized companies. But it doesn't mean that the smaller company has any different ambitions than the larger company. Maybe the smaller company wants to be the bigger company, or maybe they don't. So we offer sponsorship opportunities where their name is on our entrance units, or it's digital sponsorship that we provide, or it's recognition at one of our food and beverage events, or it's sponsorship of the Wi-Fi, or it's sponsorship of the app. So there are all different kinds of things that we can do, and there's some very, very good price points so that we can cater to the mix of companies who are represented. So that's a combination. Plus, they do a lot of their own entertaining while they're here as well. So the 3 rules are: go to the educational sessions where you can meet a lot of people, sometimes in a neutral ground where an attendee doesn't have to worry about being pitched too much. Entertaining, and here in the expo. Some companies look at this as branding. They also realize the face-to-face outside of here is just as important. Sometimes more. But, you know, they would be nothing without their brand, so it's important that they exhibit.
Very good.
And here it's been interesting. There's some booths that have food service. You know, there's the hotel key cards, this particular one anyway. I've got stuff on it, so it's been really interesting to see how things are integrated.
We did that for the first time, and it was really easy to do. The company who did it was really pleased. We had a company who sponsored the lanyards. We had a company who sponsored their own bags. Again, these are real easy things for us to do to get printed and have the right amount on hand. So we're learning to give some things that we didn't used to do before. It's not all about the sponsor banner. It's kind of what you can hold in your hand. And every time you open up your hotel door, you're looking at this company's name. So after a while, it's probably going to mean something to you. At least they're hoping.
Right. Unless I'm holding mine upside down, and then I'm in trouble.
That's right. Right.
Well, how about this one, Tom? So we talked a lot about what they can expect, how they can probably get some visibility. But if I'm a service provider and I'm interested in sponsoring or exhibiting, what do you think I could expect for like a return on my investment? So
return on your investment, many times it refers to the financial. I'd say your return probably is about 40%, maybe 50%. You know, you have to work it. You know, maybe it takes a year, maybe it takes a couple years. But I think your return, if like anything, you have to keep reinvesting in that probably to max out. But eventually you'll get there. I was talking to someone today. Usually it's 2 years After 3, you start to see a change, and after 5, you're pretty fully vested.
Okay.
And at that point, you know who you need to know. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, and the same companies are here. And we've all gotten older together, but they're still looking for the same thing. They're still looking for the same prize. So,
very good.
And you're building those relationships over time.
It's a career. You know, it's not a one and done. It's a career decision.
Well, sitting here inside the event right now, I don't know what the cameras are showing, probably not everything, but I will personally testify this is a very impressive, very large hall, for lack of a better word, and the booths and everything is very, very nice this year.
It is very nice.
Impressed.
You know, people have been saying that because there's a lot of space. You don't feel like you're piling on top of your neighbor. It's casual. We set it up so that people, so it didn't look like a football field, so people can have lunch in the middle, can sit down and have, you know, dining in the back. So tried to make it a little bit more comfortable and for everybody to get around, because it's 2 days on your feet. No, it's 2 days on your feet, so you have to sit down in order to relax.
Wear comfy shoes is
exactly right.
It was even cool. There's even a travel trailer over there.
I know.
Yeah. It's amazing what you'll see in the expo.
Right.
There was a person in a parrot costume.
Say what?
Yeah.
Never know what you're going to find here.
You never.
Well, that was an attendee, I think. Nothing to do with the exhibit. But,
You know, it's funny. Everybody here knows everybody, and they're competitors, and in good faith. But everybody knows everybody, and that's good for the business.
Yep.
And you're the fair umpire referee.
I'm trying to be the fair umpire referee.
So I got one more question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is new this year, or what's coming down the pipe, or what are you looking forward to in 2026?
I think what's new, I think we've established a good sense of goodwill just because this has been a very successful event. So people will anticipate that next year will be like this. There have been some other events that have been held this first quarter, and they haven't done quite so well. On the other hand, we've done really well.
Yeah.
But, you know, we address catastrophes that are in Florida and Texas. So a lot of the companies, I think, come pretty much because they have to. It's good for business. It's good for their visibility. So I would like to build upon that. And I think we benefit from the technology shows in January and February, and people hear about us word of mouth, and they wind up booking with us. It may be a little bit later, and they may not necessarily get the booth location that they want, but they're willing to do that because they're good salespeople and they have a good short-term goal. So I think if we can keep reinvigorating that with new companies, I think that's a really good goal for us.
Well,
Sponsorship-wise, we'll provide some other opportunities for them and maybe a little bit more selection that they want to invest in that too.
Always keeping it fresh.
Yeah, always
wonderful
keeping
fun.
it fresh.
I do think, Tom, that we have probably the largest and most awesome claims sponsorship and exhibit event in the known universe. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with
All
that.
right, very good.
I think we're the best there is around.
Right.
Absolutely.
Here, here.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up so we can get out there and see. I think there was one table with a purple dinosaur, another table with a green rubber ducky, some tote bags lying around. Let's get out there and check it out. So let's wrap it up. So what can we take away from this scenario?
I appreciated the opportunity. We had some videos done in the past, and it's great to have this again. You know, it's a good salesman pitch for people so they can understand what we're doing, particularly here. If we can get some shots, maybe some panorama of the expo, might be really nice. But you know, what's wonderful is people are staying till, you know, the show is over, and they had a big evening last night, and you know, the conference is still going on tomorrow, and more people are staying through Wednesday as well, and they take advantage of the education. So I think that's really a really good thing.
Perfect.
They see the value of that, so they're sticking around.
Well, thank you,
Well,
Tom.
thank you, Tom. We really appreciate that. And to wrap up, Mike, where can an adjuster go to learn more?
Well, Tim, you know that's a loaded question. You can always go out to a fabulous website, plrb.org. We're always going to have banners up about whatever event is coming up. Always a way to connect with Tom and reach out about your exhibiting and sponsorship needs. And all of that we will also put out maybe on the show notes if Brennan will allow that to happen.
Absolutely, and there you'll also find a recap of the key points from this episode, links to our social media, and please don't forget to subscribe and rate us. And you can also give us a call at 630-509-8704 and share your adjuster story, or let us know what topics you'd like to hear.
Brennan?
Oh,
Have we had a phone call yet on our line?
not just yet. You could be the first.
People, please call
yeah.
us, right?
Give us a call.
Right.
And thank you, Tom, for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Yeah.
Tom,
This has
was
been
awesome.
great.
Yeah,
Really
thanks.
appreciate the invitation. Thanks so
right.
much.
Well, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. The views and opinions expressed in this resource are those of the individual speaker and not necessarily those of the Property and Liability Resource Bureau, its membership, or any organization with which the presenter is employed or affiliated. The information, ideas, and opinions are presented as information only and not as legal advice or offers of representation. Individual policy language and state laws vary, and listeners should rely on guidance from their companies